You're listening to the Everyday Astrology Podcast. I'm Hilary Scott, your astrologer, and this is the forecast for the week of April 24th. This week we do have some very interesting aspects that are going to help us transform ourselves while we travel through this eclipse portal. So we do have the eclipse experience going on until the 5th of May. So you may notice things are changing around you, or that you have situations that are challenging or bringing up information that you need to know. Of course, it very much depends on where in your chart everything is located, whether it affects you personally or directly. So it does help to know where things in your chart are. A great site to look for, to put in free information and generate your own chart so you can have a look, is astro.com. So on Monday, we do have a conjunction between the North Node and the Sun, which is quite powerful. It's in Taurus, very grounded, stable, creative, chill, relaxed energy. Taurus does like to not have its feathers ruffled, likes to keep things nice and chill. It's a very sensuous, kind of same staying sign, because it doesn't make sense to Taurus to change things that are working perfectly. And they've already found what works perfectly for them. So if that's your experience, then, why change anything? The only thing is that we do have to evolve as humans. It's what we're here to do. We're here to grow and change and become our most fulfilled selves. So that generally requires us to be in a constant state of change. But with the North Node conjunct the Sun, I believe it helps us to focus where we're going, and especially the part of your chart that has Taurus in it. We've got Mercury there, Uranus, the Sun, and the North Node all in Taurus right now. So things to do with Taurus energy, like cooking and gardening and acquiring beautiful things for your surroundings and being very kind of grounded, enjoying the senses. That's why gardening and the sort of earthy activities are very good for Taurus. It's very stable energy. With the North Node there, it's helping us to stabilize and helping the Sun to point us in the right direction, which we're going in the direction of summer and growing and being open and free. So whatever you've got going on, keep an eye out. But it's a pretty powerful connection to have the Sun or the North Node conjuncting the Sun. It's definitely not something that you miss. It's an obvious energy. We also have Mercury going retrograde. So Mercury retrograde, I'm sure that you've probably heard it many times, does have to do with redoing situations. We got to look back. We got to see what's going on. It's redo, rework, rewind, reorganize, rekindle. Oftentimes people from the past will show up and you'll be like, well, why are they showing up? Usually there's something that has been left undone, something that needs to be sorted out, something that maybe didn't happen properly. It doesn't always mean, mostly it doesn't mean that it's meant to be this relationship that's come back into your life. Often it's sorting something out. You've got to learn something, understand something that wasn't quite finished, wasn't quite sorted out properly. So keep in mind, somebody might show back up, but don't get overly excited about it being, oh, this must be the one, or just be conscious that oftentimes with Mercury retrograde energy, it's to redo something in a sense, to figure out what was going down. We also have on Tuesday, Mercury retrograde will be going till the second week of May. So settle in, just be conscious, do all your sort of focusing on the past and figuring out what you need to do and getting all your ducks in a row for the next couple weeks. On the 25th, we do have a sextile between Venus and Chiron, and a sextile between the Sun and Saturn, and the Moon and Mercury, and the Moon and Uranus. It's a big positive energy day, and it will probably bring up things that need healing in a way that is not painful. You have some compassion for yourself and maybe a new understanding of what you're trying to learn, what you have learned, or how your pain has affected you. The situations, often Chiron is to do with our finding our power in some way, or having our power taken away, or experiencing feelings of humiliation or confusion and sadness, and like just all your really painful parts can be where Chiron is in your chart. So it being sextile Venus, it's like a healing salve, like there for your soul to soothe the situation. So it can be a really nice energy to help you calm you and soothe you and make you feel happy and like understood. Very likely you'll feel understood. The same day with the sun sextiling Saturn, it's like we can do the work. There's work to do when we can do the work. It may not be easy work. It may not, happen in the flash of an eye, but it's definitely work worth doing, and we have the energy to do it. We have like our identity is all intact, focused in the right direction to do the work we need to get to where we're going. So that's lucky. Very lucky. We also, Mercury is sextiling the moon that day. So we have like sharp minds that can communicate our feelings, which should very much help with this Venus sextiling Chiron as well. There's a lot of energy around healing and unpainful healing, not the kind that you have to feel all the terrible things that happen to you again, but just that you understand what happened and you understand what you need to do and what the feeling is that you're dealing with, how to clear it out and step into your own power. So then we have, coming on Thursday the 27th, there is a square between Mars and Chiron and an opposition between the moon and Pluto. This can be tricky because now your energy, Mars, is trying to go in a certain direction, but Chiron is bringing up stuff that's stopping it in some way, getting in the way of you experiencing what you need to experience. So it can be like a tricky energy to deal with. You might feel angry, you might feel short-tempered, you might feel frustrated, you might feel super put upon. It's just this thwarting energy. So maybe you were really in the groove of healing and feeling good and understanding everything. And then all of a sudden you weren't. You were frustrated and thwarted and didn't know what direction to go and felt like angry. So just be aware that might come up on Thursday, the 27th. We do on Saturday have, and this should like clear it all up. The weekend is quite good energy. We have going from the Leo moon into the Virgo moon on the 29th, which is really good energy, again, for getting everything in order. Maybe you have gardening to do, things that are of a healing nature. So grounding, being at one with nature and connecting with the things that heal you are really powerful. Uranus is sextiling Mars. So maybe you get like brand new ideas out of like you have no idea it was coming. Maybe some sort of sudden opportunity occurs around your home or your family or your living situation, because Mars is in Cancer, which rules our connection to our mothers and emotion and our kind of subconscious and our family line as well, our lineage. So you may be having experiences that bring this to light for you in some way. Maybe you realize you've just healed 7 generations of pain because you were willing to work through something complicated that no one else in your family line was willing to deal with. That sort of like sudden revelation and release of burden and kind of catapulting into freedom in some way, but in a way that is very healing. There is so many healing vibes going on this week. So that's good because we're in that portal. And coming up the 5th, we have the lunar eclipse, which will be in Scorpio. So we've got time for the next 2 weeks to really kind of feel into things, feel into what we're trying to create, feel into what we need to release, what we need to let go, what we got going on with our emotions, and why we have things like that going on with our emotions. It's very helpful to, I guess, look at yourself and figure out what you need to do to get over what might be in your way. And it's hard work a lot of the time. It's not always easy to have to face things that you've been avoiding. But with the way the energies are going right now, and if you want to get to that next best version of your most amazing life, you got to be willing to do the work. So we're in that sort of high-speed shuttle to change right now with these eclipse portals. We have another eclipse session coming towards the end of the year. Twice a year, we get these kind of doors that open up and shuttle in the new and shuttle out the old. And that way we can keep on changing and keep on evolving as humans. So that's a little update on what is going on this week in the cosmos. I hope it's helpful and that you understand what's happening, that you're taking notes, writing in your journal, speaking to friends, eating healthy food, getting lots of sunshine and clean air and clean water, and all the things you need to feel grounded and safe and secure and loved.